Woo woo. All right. Jordan, Coach Jordan, very excited for your talk. Just going to give a quick introduction to you and then you can take the stage. I'm very excited to hear your talk. Let me find your little slides. Okay, got you. All right, sharing my screen. Cool. All right, welcome, Coach Jordan. Gonna be epic, y'all. Very, very excited. All right, so quick backstory on Jordan. He has been vegan for 5 years. He was on and off vegan for 2 years before that. Originally went plant-based for his health. He had bipolar, binge eating disorder, heart arrhythmias, and cancer. And now he's vegan for the animals after listening to Gary Yourofsky's best speech ever and watching Dominion. Those are two very, very powerful ways to go vegan for life for sure and empathize with the animals. He started his fitness journey because he was bullied at beginning in the fourth grade for being overweight, and he was called Shamu, which is so effed up. But he got into fitness to take control of his body and to not be bullied again. His biggest hurdle prior to hiring a fitness coach was the lack of structure, which led to a lack of real progress. And he decided to hire a coach because Jordan actively lives with cancer and is committed to being a cancer survivor who earns a bodybuilding pro card to show fellow survivors what's possible. I'm very excited for you to accomplish that and continue to just be a huge inspiration to all. And his greatest strengths now are being able to develop a structured plan that delivers results, whether it's for himself or for those that he coaches. So big round of applause. Welcome, Jordan. Super stoked. Feel free to take the
You
stage.
appreciate that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
All right. Super stoked to be delivering this talk, and it's a real privilege and an honor because this is a cause that means so much to me. Mental health has been a journey that I have endured since I was a teenager. And to be able to share my fitness journey with those that are experiencing similar mental health either breakdowns or breakthroughs, or they're on their mental health journey, to me is just a real privilege. So thank you guys so much for this. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Awesome. Can you guys see my screen?
yes, sir. Looks great.
Awesome. So this presentation is fat loss when life hits hard. So it's about mental health, it's about stress, and it's about survival mode. Because when you're going through a mental health episode, and can all of you here that are with me, can you either throw up emoji or put in the chat if you've been through any type of trauma, if you've been through any type of mental health episode in your life, because you understand how that affects your physiology. You understand how that impacts you on a biological aspect. It's not just mental, it touches every cell of your body. And when you're going through a traumatic episode, when you're going through a mental health episode, and when you're recovering from both, it's a really difficult journey, not just emotionally, but also physically, to reclaim your body, rebuild your strength, and if you gained weight during that time, which is very common, to lose that weight. So that's what we're going to talk about here. To me, it's really about taking what looks like a disadvantageous situation, a negative situation, and really turning your mental health and your trauma into your own superpower and utilizing it as a catalyst to supercharge weight loss and to reclaim yourself and reclaim trust in your body and who you are as a person. So just want to share a little bit about myself. I know Alex just did briefly. So that's me on the left. That was before I was 265 pounds. I was a young father. I think in that picture, I was 24 years old. And at the time, that was mental health run amok. That was when my bipolar episodes and my binge eating episodes had the best of me. At that time, at 24 years old, I was very successful in business. And being very successful in business, Part of it was because of my bipolarness, my manic episodes. I was able to laser focus on specific goals. And because I was making a lot of money, I ended up spending a lot of money eating out, eating a lot of food. I would eat whole pizzas at a time. I would order $300 worth of sushi at a time. Um, I wasn't vegan at the time. And I gained a lot of weight. Um, and then thankfully, I was properly diagnosed and I was properly treated. And now you can see where I'm at right now. Like Alex said, I'm on a quest to show fellow cancer survivors what is possible mentally, emotionally, and physically. And this has been my weight loss journey over a lengthy period of time. It's not something that happens in a 90-day transformation. It's not a beach body transformation. It's years and years and years of diligent effort, as well as putting in the time, and most importantly, structure. And for those of us that deal with traumatic episodes or mental health issues, structure is extremely important for us. And if we could take that same focus that we have on our anxiety, on our depression, on our traumas, and we could then shed it directly on a proper plan that has structure, we are going to be insurmountable in accomplishing our goals. So again, that's my before, that's my after. I live with blood cancer, I live with leukemia. So I am always in flight or fight mode as far as my body goes. I do live with bipolar 1 disorder. I do live with binge eating disorder, and I do live with multiple heart arrhythmias. And I don't just say this to say, hey, whoa, he is he. No, I say this to be as an inspiration. It doesn't matter what is happening physiologically in your body. You are capable of achieving anything as long as you put your mind to it, as long as you have the right plan, as long as you have people around you that love you, that support you, that are willing to journey with you together to make sure that you're getting from where you are to where it is that you want to be. You could accomplish anything that you put your mind to. So why does this talk matter so much? Well, the next two slides, I really want to dive a little bit deeper into that. First off, 70 to 90% of us are going to experience trauma in and throughout our lifetime. So it's something that for the majority of us is going to be inevitable, whether it's stress, whether it's post-traumatic stress, whether it's anxiety, whether it's phobia. You know, I've been through it myself on several occasions. When I was 4 years old, I witnessed my grandfather pass away in front of me of a heart attack. Later in life, I witnessed my dad pass away in front of me unexpectedly of a heart attack. As Alex said, I was called Shamu when I was in fourth grade because I was overweight. And till this day, I'll be completely honest with you, when I look in the mirror, I still see that same fourth grader that existed back then. That's how much of a traumatic episode it was. And there's been other traumas that I've engaged in my life. And the majority of you that are on this talk have as well. And if you have, just share that information in the chat. What have you experienced? What have you been through? If you're okay with opening your heart and being honest and being transparent. If you're not, that is completely okay as well. This is a safe space. But at the same time, there's others that are out there in this community that we've created that want to be able to be there to support you throughout your journey. So these are the 5 most common mental health disorders that exist today amongst us adults in the United States. Number 1 is going to be anxiety disorders. That's anywhere between 19 to 23% of us. Then there's depressive disorders, up to 10% of us. Substance abuse is very prevalent, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, etc. That's up to 9% of us. There's a lot of us that have several types of eating disorders, anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorder like myself, all very common in up to 9% of us. And then there are some of us that have other type of mental health illnesses, such as bipolar disorders, up to 3 of us, schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, etc., etc. Now, whether you had a traumatic episode in your life, whether you have or are suffering from any type of mental health disorder, there's one thing that every single one of you needs to know. And that is, it's not your fault. And I hope you could internally repeat that as a mantra. It's not your fault. Something happened to you, and then physiologically, the way that you were created from birth, you took that episode and you inherited it within you. And there was nothing that you could do about it. So it's not your fault. And then any type of physical changes that happened as a result of that specific event, whether it was gaining weight, whether it was losing excessive amounts of weight, whether it was losing strength, etc., it's not your fault, because stress, trauma, any type of mental health illness, or any type of illness is going to change your physiology. It's going to change your biology. There's nothing that you could do about that. There's nothing that you could have done to prevent yourself from that. So separate yourself from what happened to what transpired health-wise as a result of it, because it's not your fault. You didn't gain the weight because you did something that was wrong. You didn't lose strength because you did something that was wrong. You didn't stop going to the gym because you have a character defect. You know, something happened to you that you cannot control, and your physiology, your biology, unfortunately, the way that you were created, it experienced within you, and there was nothing that you could do about that. Now, there's something that you could do about it once you're out of that situation, but just know it was not your fault. So let's understand why it's not your fault. Because when you're going through a traumatic episode, when you have a mental health disorder or illness, even if it is general anxiety, general depression, etc., your cortisol and your adrenaline, levels are going to raise, and they're going to raise dramatically. That reduces your metabolic systems and your metabolic flexibility and your ability to lose weight. And then fat storage is just your protective mechanism within your body during flight and fight mode. That is your survival instinct. It's let's latch on to everything for as much energy and as much conservation as possible. And that's what happens when you are constantly in survival mode. So it's not your fault, but how can you turn your mental health episode, your traumatic episodes, into your superpower? And that's embracing your hyper focus. Now, by a show of emojis, I can't really see actually. So you can share or you cannot share. But who here understands that the trauma they've been through, the anxiety that they've been through is not just a negative, but it is a positive, because they have this hyper awareness, this hyper focus that they could really hone in on. You're focused on that anxiety, you're focused on that depression, you're focused on that traumatic episode. Let's shift that into a plan of action that could actually work in your benefit, where you could lose that extra weight, where you could shed and torch any fat that you want to, where you could gain the strength that it is that you need. You could gain community, you could gain love by simply taking that same focus that has been hyper aware on a negative event towards an actual plan that is going to produce results. And I'm going to share with you that plan today. And it is a privilege and an honor, not just to speak with you, like I said, but to be part of the Vegan Squad coaching community. And the reason why is the 4 pillars of the Vegan Squad coaching was created by people like us, for people like us, understanding what it's like to go through specific events in your life and to have a breakthrough as a result. So nutrition, training, accountability, as well as communication is extremely essential. And I want to share with you why, for those of us that are constantly in flight or fight mode, that you could take your hyper focus, have a specific plan, and get the results that you're seeking. So let's first start off with solution number one, and that is absolutely vegan nutrition. Why is vegan nutrition superior to carnivore nutrition or omnivore nutrition? It's because there is a reduction in neuroinflammation, which means that when you are in flight or fight mode, your entire nervous system becomes inflamed. Thankfully, plants of all different kinds, both unprocessed whole food plants as well as processed food plants, are going to reduce inflammation on every part of your body. A great thing about vegan nutrition is it also improves neurotransmitter signaling, which goes to different parts of your body and gives you the positive feelings that it is that you need in order to motivate you to move forward. And there's better stress resilience. Your body is less inflamed. You have more endorphins, you have more dopamine flowing through your body than before. And as a result of that, there's less stress that you're going to be experiencing on a day-to-day basis. Now, are you still going to receive stress? Absolutely, happens all the time. But at the same time, now your body is equipped to properly deal with it. This is huge for me. Eat, eat, eat. I talk about this all the time with others. We all want to, and we're here to, lose a specific amount of weight. And I totally get that. But you also have to properly nourish your body in order for your body not to be in fight or flight mode. So now it's in a position where you could shed the weight on a sustainable basis over the long term. Again, it's not about a 90-day turnaround. It's not about getting that beach body for the summer. It's about long-term sustained results. So where does that start off with? It starts off with your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. You want to make sure that you get the right calculation. There's several calculators that are available for you out there. There's several coaches here in the Vegan Squad coaching community that'll walk you through that process. Now, having said that, you want to get it calculated. That's where you need to start eating to make sure that you're in that long-term sustainability fat loss mode. Why? Because when I was 265, there were periods of time where I've lost 60 pounds of weight, 50 pounds of weight. But guess what? I gained it back sometimes and then some. Why? Because I wasn't eating enough calories, enough energy to be able to sustain me. I was eating about 1,500 to 1,700 calories. That was actually below my basal metabolic rate, how much your body at rest just produces as far as an energy expenditure on a daily basis without other activity coming into play. And I was eating 15 to 1,700 calories because I was so hyper focused on losing weight. I hated feeling like Shamu. I needed to lose weight to feel better about myself. And guess what? I did shed the weight, but I gained it right back. And other aspects of life were extremely, extremely stressful. And it was because I wasn't eating enough. Then when I started going up to 2,500 calories, 2,700 calories, 2,900 calories, first of all, my energy went through the roof. I felt great. I could wake up at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and go to the gym. And no, I'm not a early morning person. I am a night owl. I like to stay up till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. But having said that, I was able to easily wake up because I was getting the proper nutrition. I was having the proper energy. That was step number one, because then I could go to the gym and I could put my body in a position to strength train as well as to shed the fat and to shed the weight. The number two is when I was eating 1,500 to 1,700 calories, I was stuck in this binge restrict cycle. Always, I would have this binge episode where I would literally eat so much. And I'm okay with being honest with all of you guys because I understand that we're all in this together. That I have been to the hospital multiple times with a distended stomach because of the amount of food that I was able to eat in one sitting. I could literally eat more than 10,000 calories in one specific sitting. If these mukbang videos were alive back in the early 2000s when I was first experiencing this, I'd probably be a millionaire right now. I'd probably be dead at the same time. But at the same time, you know, that's what happens when you eat such a low amount of calories. You go into this binge restrict cycle. If you've been through that yourself, please drop that in the chat so you know that you are not alone, that others are going through that with you. Once I got up to the 2,500 to 2,900 calories, the cravings just stopped. It was like this miracle drug that was bestowed upon me. I no longer had the cravings to binge whatsoever. I didn't care about eating excessive amounts of food to hide my feelings. It just wasn't there as far as the cravings go. So that's starting with step number one. It's just eating as much food as you can. You don't want to overeat because we are here to lose weight. We are here to shed fat, but you want to eat the proper amount of weight for your total daily energy expenditure and maybe a little bit below. So if your daily expenditure is about 2,900 calories, why don't you try 2,600 calories or 2,650 calories, maybe 2,700 calories? Remember, we're talking about fat loss over the long term, not over the short term. This is a year plus that you're looking to shed the weight for good, keep it off. Also, I recommend to keep you as satiated as possible, zero point 0.8 to 1 gram of grams of protein per pound of body weight. It keeps you extremely satiated. Now, having said that, I eat a little bit more and I consume as much protein as possible because I have specific goals when it comes to bodybuilding, but you don't have to. As long as you're maintaining a certain amount of calories from protein, you're going to be full. You're not going to think about the next meal. And then last, do not be scared of carbs. Eat as many carbs as you can. Carbs are not the reason why you gain weight. Now, having said that, don't eat all different crazy types of carbs, like potato chips and popcorn and ice cream and so on and so forth. Eat carbs that are going to give your body the proper nutrition it needs to be able to excel. So right now, I weigh about 178 and I consume about 200 plus grams of protein, but I consume about 400 plus grams of carbs. It keeps me full, but it gives me the energy that it is that I need throughout the entire day. But most importantly, there's no binging, there's no craving of food, and my body is completely transformed as a result of eating the right amount of calories, of eating the right amount of protein, and of eating the right amount of carbs. And it has shed the excessive fat that it needs because it's no longer in that fight or flight mode. Oops. Let me share again. Okay, solution number 2 is going to be strength training. Now, why is strength training so important for us that are dealing with trauma and with mental health? And if you look at the first 3, they're all extremely similar. It's discipline, it's routine, and it's structure. Again, it's taking our hyper focus as a negative, turning it into a superpower, and then focusing on something that we do day in and day out. And that gives us the discipline that it is that we need, not just to succeed in torching fat and gaining strength, but we could translate that into other aspects of our life as well, whether it's with our family, whether it's in our business and career, no matter what it is. It's the same thing, daily routine. You're not focused on the negative aspects of life. You're focused on where it is that you're going. Let the past be in the past Your future is your promise. That's where you need to focus in on. And it gives you structure. This is what us that deal with trauma and mental health on a daily basis need. We need that daily structure in order to be able to succeed. I am a businessman, and in business, there is a great quote by Michael Gerber, who created the E-Myth, that said, "It's business systems produce billion-dollar companies." And it's the same thing in fitness. And it's when you have a specific system, it's going to create a lot of success when it comes to torching fat and when it comes to gaining strength. The last things that it gives you, and this is going to decrease the stress and the fight or flight that is happening within you, is endorphins and dopamine. It's going to be running through your body. Endorphins make you feel good, and the dopamine hits. Instead of scrolling on social media, instead of looking on the internet, instead of watching TV all day long and getting your dopamine hits from there, you're getting it from putting in the effort, putting in the work of utilizing your own body to work for you and not against you. Then solution number 3 is getting an accountability partner or partners. For us that are dealing with trauma and mental health, this is extremely important because there are days where life is going to, excuse my language, kick your ass. And it sucks. And we're not able to deal with it because of the way our biological systems are comprised. There's days where I do have manic episodes that it's really hard to be able to shift my focus from here to where it needs to be. And there's days where I go through depression, where life just hits me so hard that it's really difficult to continue to move on. But I have people in my life that I hold myself accountable to because they're there for me and they're there with me to give me the motivation and the consistency that I need in order to succeed moving forward. And whether that's your family, whether that's your friends, whether that's a community here of fellow vegans like yourself that really want to help you and be there for you, find an accountability partner or partners throughout this entire journey, and it will supercharge your success with whatever goals that it is that you have because you're not alone. And there are going to be days where you need someone else or a group of other people to give you that motivation that you're lacking, to give you that consistency, to give you that inspiration that you need in that specific moment. And then solution number 4 is communication. This is huge for us that deal with trauma, mental health, that are in fight or flight mode because we want to isolate ourselves from everyone else. We don't want to share what is happening in our lives with someone else. We just want to curl up and be by ourselves, either with food, with a TV, in bed, maybe with a book, etc. And sometimes that's okay. It's okay to do that on occasion, but you don't want to live in that space. You need to understand something. When you have a community of people around you, and this is why I love the Vegan Squad community so much, is because our hearts are connected through love and empathy and sympathy for others. And we are against oppression of all different kinds. And that's what unites us. So let others around you love you. They want to love you. They want to be there for you. Allow them to be. Communicate with them on a day-to-day basis. What are you feeling? How are you feeling? Just getting it out makes you feel that much better, and it takes that load off your chest. And you also have to understand that you're not the only one in a community. People care about you. They have vested interest in your success. They want to see you succeed. They're willing to put themselves on the line for you, to be there for you. Let them be there for you and let them be there for their goals. So just know you need to let them be open for you by you communicating to them. And in my closing message, 2 last slides, loss is not about, fat loss, I'm sorry, is not about fighting harder. It's about a safe and capable plan of action. For us, it's not about extremes. It's about safe and steady progress. It's about shifting our body from fight or flight into a consistent way of being that is beneficial for our goals. Your body wants to heal. You have to allow it the space to be able to heal. And you do that through nutrition. You do that through strength training. You do that by being around others and with others and letting them be there for you. And then the best plan of action is loving first and accepting yourself. I had this conversation with Alex yesterday through WhatsApp, and he said, I'm sorry for what you went through when you were in fourth grade being called Shamu. It sucks. And it does. Like I said, I'm a 40 plus year old man. I have 3 kids, one in college, and I'm very successful in business. And I have those around me that love me. But yet, when I look in the mirror, I still see Shamu. So it sucks. I get it. But I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be who it is that I am. I wouldn't have known Alex. I wouldn't have met John. I wouldn't have met this community, Samara and others, unless I went through what it is that I went through. And I'm so thankful for that. So now I can accept that part of me and who it is that I am, and the fact that I'm okay with being bipolar, with having binge eating disorder, with having body dysmorphia, and seeing Shamu in the mirror every time that I do look in the mirror. I'm okay with that because now I'm surrounded by people that I love. I have a community that I love. I have a family outside of here that I absolutely love, and I wouldn't be who I am without it. Become a superhero, make new choices, take that hyper focus. That is our curse and that is our blessing. We could either choose to remain a victim to it and allow it to focus on the past, or again, we could take that hyper focus and shift it to the future with a plan of action. And that is definitely vegan nutrition. And it's not just for you, it's for others, meaning our animal brothers and sisters. It's for our environment. It's paying it forward for our children. Then it's strength training, which is going to give you what it is that you need to be as strong as possible, resilient as possible in all aspects of your life. But again, it's also for others. The more that you could show up for yourself, the better that you could show up for others and positively enhance this world moving forward. Accountability. Again, allowing others to give you that motivation and consistency that you lack in certain times of your life. Allow others to be there for you. They want to be, allow them to be there for you. And then we could hold ourselves accountable as well, because we know that others are there and we could step on their shoulders anytime we need to. And then be in communication with others. It's having that community. Find your community, whether it's Vegan Squad, whether it's outside community, whether it's both, etc. Find that community that you love and that's there for you. So I want to thank you guys so much again. It is a privilege. It's an honor. I hope I did all of you justice by sharing this information with you, by sharing my story with you. And I just wanted to open it up for questions. If you want to share your experiences, what it is that you've been going through, you have questions on how to move forward, how to progress, how to have a breakthrough during your current breakdown or current your situation, please feel free to ask away. And if you have any questions about my story or things that I've been through that I've been able to overcome that you could potentially take into your life, please, by all means, go ahead and ask, and sure to support you. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen, and yeah, I'll open it up to any type of questions that anybody has. So thank you guys again. I really hope I did you guys justice.
Thank you so much, Jordan. That was awesome. Thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing your story and sharing the triumph that you've experienced and the way that you inspire others in the same way. So I really appreciate you, and I'm grateful for who you are, and I'm grateful for the fact that you are so resilient. I know I told you this last night, and I appreciate you bringing up our conversation too. I was
Sorry for putting you on the spot.
Oh no, you're so good. I'm cool with it. No, man. No, it's real. And I mean everybody I'm sure has struggled with that at some point in their life, of just like not believing themselves or focusing on the past or anything. And yeah, it brought up for me like I think a big mindset shift that I had last year was I just came to acceptance with like all of my past, like instead of just judging myself based on it or like seeing like being pulled down by my past, like coming to acceptance with it and seeing that it's part of me and it's what made me who I am today was just such a huge, powerful shift. So I respect you and admire you for also doing that, just not letting your past like bring you down, but using it to fuel you and to become that superhero.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And oh, Dustin, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you, Miranda, as well. I do appreciate that.
Cool. Thanks, brother. Does anyone have any questions for Jordan? I wanted to ask, do you have any like daily mindset, habit, practice, like anything or anything that you've practiced over the years?
Yeah, so I'm a huge proponent, in addition to what it is that I just shared, I'm a huge proponent of meditation. Um, I'm Jewish, and I wouldn't say that I'm dogmatic religious, but I'm definitely spiritual. And there's a lot of Jewish traditions that are very meditative. And outside of it, I do a meditation practice called Qigong. So it's something that I do on a daily basis. It's kind of like bathing yourself mentally instead of just physically. So yeah, I do that practice outside, and I pray every day. I talk to my God, and everybody's God is different. I have a very good family friend of mine that is a Catholic priest or a former Catholic priest, and I remember he was giving a eulogy one day, and he was talking to very religious people, and he was talking about how Jesus could be anything, how he could be up on the cross or he could be on a beach wearing sunglasses and sipping a margarita and just praying, and doesn't need to be God if you don't believe in God, but talk to something above and beyond yourself that could give you the power that it is that we lack, your own higher power, I guess you could call it. So that's something else that I do. And I practice gratitude on a daily basis. So I think those three things, meditation, praying, and gratitude, is huge.
Love that. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, no, I definitely resonate with that. Just connecting to like that higher power and to my soul and like, yeah, kind of just pulling. Sometimes it's hard to get that internal motivation or like, I don't know, grit within you, but I think
Yeah.
meditating, connecting to yourself on that deeper level, like taking time to slow down, and to connect to something bigger than you, that is so powerful and definitely has been a huge shift for me as well. So I love that you do that and the
Yeah.
gratitude practice too, and the qigong.
Yeah, it's all great. And one thing that I do that I was thinking about doing, but I didn't do during this presentation, because I know that there's a lot of us that deal with trauma and there's a lot of us that deal with mental health that not just from a nutritional standpoint we put into our body, but we also have to put medication into our body in order to move forward. I literally take 7 to 8 medications daily. There's nothing that I could do about that. It makes me function as a human being with cancer, with everything else that I have, the heart arrhythmias, et cetera. And that does mess up your metabolism. It does mess up your biological systems. But I still want you to understand, people, that if you're taking medication and it has those specific side effects, you can still transform your body through that by taking the right steps. It may change you on a cellular and a metabolic level, but you could shift that by doing the right positive things. Like I said, you saw where I was, you see where I'm at right now. And that's with taking 8 medications on a daily basis, with severe side effects, and they include steroids. Um, you guys could do it if you have the right plan of action in front of you. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing. And the community too, and like the support around you, and also the mindset to continue to persevere and believe in yourself and show up for yourself daily.
Yeah, I mean it's huge. The community is huge, and having others around you that love you and that care about you. Like yesterday, again, I'm totally okay with being transparent and honest. I'm going through a specific mental health episode because there's something that's transpiring within my family, and I let you know that. I let John know that yesterday. Because we do have a vegan squad pod for our community, and I wasn't in the mood to record, but because you guys were there, and because of the positiveness that you guys were experiencing, I caught fire, and I felt connected to you guys, and was able to go through it. So community is huge, guys. So hopefully those aren't a part of the Vegan Squad community, become a part of the Vegan Squad community, for yourself and, for others as well, because you could share your love, you could share your strength with others and your hope with others as well.
100%. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Jordan, and I'm grateful that you showed up yesterday too. It was awesome, and that touched my heart. And you definitely lit my fire too yesterday. It just definitely is transforming when you're in a room or just talking to other people who are like-hearted, like-minded, and have the same goals as you and want to support you and the world around them to just have a positive impact. So, and like Jordan said, like that's exactly what happens in the community as well. Um, so yeah, if y'all did want to join the community and also work with an awesome coach like Jordan, could sign up for the 99 month of coaching the community as well. In the community, we do multiple live calls throughout the week. There's a chat room. It's almost like a social media, but without all the hate from other trolls and stuff like that. It's literally just our little vegan squad group. Tons of supportive people in there, share their meals, their fitness journeys, life lessons, just support one another. Somebody in there had shared that they had like a relapse with drinking like last week, and so many people just jumped into that thread to support him. So yeah, it's literally just growing like a family, and just really helps you light that fire within you. And everybody in there, I think, like throws logs onto your unique fire. So I love that. And yeah, I'll drop that link again for anyone that wants to check that out. So you'll get access to the community, to a coach, so you'll be able to start your journey with somebody like Jordan. And also get resources from the summit. So all the recordings, the resources like a high protein cookbook, high protein, or a vegan protein guide, so that you're all in the right hands. But yeah, so round of applause to Jordan. Thank you so much for coming,
Thank
for
you guys.
speaking,
Really
sharing your
appreciate it.
story. Yeah, you're a huge inspiration. There was a lot of people sharing just their love for you. So thank you for being here. And also
Thank you.
thank you for giving the space for other people to be vulnerable about their stories as well. There were a couple of people that had shared some of their traumas, and just appreciate you holding that safe space for everybody.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you guys for sharing, because just know that you're not alone. We're all here for you. We're all here together.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
All
Cool.
right.